Good evening and welcome to Eastwood High School for this 1-6A clash between the visiting El Dorado Aztecs and your home Eastwood Troopers. I'm joined alongside Justice Urbina tonight for Game 1. Alex Sanchez will have Game 2 as the Troopers win the tip-off. Marcus Bennett back-to-back tip-off wins for the Troopers. Of course, in that game as Israel Flores takes a tumble, and we're going to have a jump ball to start it right away, and the Aztecs are going to get possession. Justice, what are we looking for tonight?
The Troopers did a really good job scoring last game. They really turned it up big time offensively. And, just looking to continue that offensive power that they've had since last season.
Yeah, and we did have a timeout there before the jump ball, I believe. I believe it was called by Eastwood to keep possession of the ball. I believe it was the timeout was called by Eastwood there. So Eastwood's going to – oh, no, actually the Aztecs – oh, no, the Troopers are going to maintain possession here. A little confusion here down on the court between both teams. Who's getting the ball?
Yeah, I believe Israel Flores was the one that called the timeout right after he took the tumble.
Yeah, Israel Flores did a good job when he got on the ground and kind of felt trapped to kind of call that timeout and make sure his team doesn't turn the ball over. Troopers did play on Friday night. It was their district bye, but they decided to pick up a game as Marcus Bennett works down low, and that is good. Marcus Bennett had a huge night on Friday, Justice, and right there just kind of continuing it.
Yeah, Marcus Bennett definitely a key reason to the Troopers' success, not only here earlier in the season, but as well on Friday night as they beat the Alamogordo Tigers. As that's going to be a foul.
Yeah, and that's Jay Hudson right there for the Aztecs. He's going to get the basket and be at the line. I believe the foul was on Mark Hernandez. Yes, it was. So Mark picks up an early foul.
Hey, we're in down. Down.
The Aztecs 1-7 in district, in 9th place right now. So really in no man's land for playoff positioning as Hudson misses the free throw. So it's going to be knotted up at 2 here early. The Aztecs are at the bottom of the district. So Justice, this is kind of a game where they could really play spoiler for Eastwood. Eastwood kind of playing right now for a home playoff game.
Yeah, the Troopers really trying to maintain their upper seed in District 1-6A, and the Aztecs definitely with a chance to spoil that here earlier on in the season, as that's going to be a three-point try.
Yeah, Abraham Garcia right there with a beautiful three. The Troopers moving the ball very well early on, and a player you usually don't see get on the board too early.
Yeah, I was just about to point out that we've seen some new faces on the court. Abraham Garcia and Israel Flores being one of them. 2 players that we did not see start Friday's game.
Yeah, and that's one of Coach Morales' is kind of keys that he's able to do is kind of just rotate in players as he wants.
Yeah, the availability that they have on the Troopers bench is really a core reason why they have such success.
And there's going to be a foul right there, and that's going to go on Abraham Garcia. So Garcia's going to pick up 1, so the Troopers already at 2 fouls, and of course now with the new high school free throw rule, you do get double bonus once you're at 5 fouls. Puts all the teams at the line, and right there, Coach Morales was not happy with that no call there. As the Aztecs moving the ball around, Velasquez no good. The Aztecs are going to get the rebound. It's going to roll off of Hutchinson's foot, and the Troopers are going to get possession there. So a weird sequence of events. The Troopers could have gave up 3 right there, but able to get away.
Yeah, definitely a fortunate opportunity there for the Troopers.
And the Aztecs kind of working a press here right now. The Troopers did struggle a little late on the game on Friday with a press as Marcus Bennett gives it up there. A 2-on-2. Hutchinson passes it out to Hudson. Hudson, beautiful move down low, and it's going to go. So the Aztecs now trail by 1 as the Troopers turn the ball over. So a turnover point there for the Aztecs, and that's going to be crucial for them Justice tonight.
Yeah, it's been, honestly, what I've noticed so far mainly is that these are 2 very fast-paced teams as there's another turnover by the Troopers.
Yeah, and there's another one, as you said, and a foul. So 3 fouls already for the Troopers, not looking too hot early on.
Yeah, definitely some early struggles. Not the same way that we saw them come out of the game on Friday.
Yeah, definitely a Troopers team that played hot on Friday. On Friday, it was Coach Morales' 300th win, so he's looking for 301 tonight. As Israel Flores is all up on Hudson, and Flores is going to get called for a push-off. So he's going to take a seat early on, and that's his first foul, and Troopers now have 4 fouls.
Yeah, definitely some early foul troubles we see here by the Troopers. The Troopers didn't experience foul trouble, honestly, until the second half of last week's game.
Yeah,
so they're experiencing it a little bit more here early on in the first half.
Yeah, and the Aztecs are doing a good job of kind of using the Troopers' bodies against them, as Mark Hernandez is going to get called for a foul there. So, man, the Troopers can't get away with anything here early on, and that's going to be 5 fouls, so someone's going to be at the line for the Aztecs.
Less than 3 minutes into this game, and the Troopers have already allowed the Aztecs to be in the double bonus.
Yeah, that's something you don't want to see from a coach. If you're letting the other team get at the line in the first 3 minutes of the game, not even the second half or whatever, the game.
Yeah, these are just free points that they're giving them as the first shot is made, and that's going to go ahead and tie us up at 5.
And that's Christian Velasquez there at the line, and Mark Hernandez going to take a seat early as he had 2 early fouls, so 2 of the 5 were his, and he's a key contributor to the Troopers' offense and defense.
Subbing in, though, is another key contributor, number 30, Edward Avila. He was essentially their three-point guy last week, hitting, I believe, 3 three-pointers in the game.
And the Aztecs going to get their first lead of tonight's contest, leading 6-5. Julian Falk Ramirez has checked in the game, and there we go. Julian Falk Ramirez with the assist to Marcus Bennett. I believe, yep, they're going to count the basket. So Marcus Bennett getting the ball from Julian Falk Ramirez. As soon as we say his name, he kind of does something for the Troopers, getting the assist to Marcus Bennett, and now Bennett on the line for 1.
And he's kind of continuing his high from Friday's game as he played exceptionally well.
Yeah, his brother kind of had the off night on Friday, and he really picked it up. So that brother combo is really dangerous as Marcus Bennett converts the and 1, so the Troopers back up by 2 now.
And that's kind of the motto that the Troopers have to follow, is they need to be able to stay ahead in the points, and that is going to be a travel and some frustration there by number 10, Jay Hudson.
Yeah, and the Aztec offense really runs through Jay Hudson. So Jay Hudson going to be a key contributor. I believe when they had early on, Israel Flores was guarding him, but now that Israel Flores and Mark Hernandez are on the bench, expect Devin Falk Ramirez to get it. Is Marcus Bennett good from 3? So Marcus Bennett with the hot hand early on with 8.
Marcus Bennett had a couple of big man threes earlier in the game, as that's going to be number 15, Hunter Hutchinson.
Yeah, and that's a transition point there. The Troopers just not getting back fast enough. The Aztecs have been doing a good job of breaking their somewhat of a press down low, as the Troopers struggling to pass it. Julian Falk Ramirez got trapped in a corner, able to get it away. Edward Avila from the free throw line extended good.
And that's a nice fast jumper there by Edward Avila.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's pretty much the shooter that they have on their team.
Yeah, and that's good recognition right there by Edward Avila, knowing that the whole defense is kind of away from you and got to take that shot quick. So the Aztecs trying to move the ball there. Floyd's going to tumble a little over his own dribble, and I believe they called it a jump ball there. Yeah, we're going to get a jump ball. El Dorado did want a timeout there, but they're going to maintain possession either or.
Shoot, just flash. If he's not guarding you, just flash.
So Velasquez will inbound it for the Aztecs. The Aztecs doing a good job moving it in. Down low to Hudson. He's going to miss. Julian Falk Ramirez on the defense there. Hudson's going to get called for getting a little too close to Julian Falk Ramirez, but a good job by Julian down there with defense.
Yeah, I noticed that the Troopers honestly kind of just struggling here with the Aztecs. They're kind of running a half-court press, and it seems to be working. They've created a couple of turnovers from the Troopers, so as long as the Troopers can kind of adapt to that, they should be fine, as Nathan Saucedo with a good inside move, but he's just going to roll off the rim.
Yeah, and the Troopers do have a big man advantage tonight with Marcus Bennett and Nathan Sauceda, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see their duo come out as we have an air ball there, but the Aztecs are going to main possession, and wow, a lot of contact down here by the table.
Yeah, and both teams playing really, really aggressive. Jay Hutchinson playing really, really aggressive.
Wow, Edward Avila is going to get charged for the foul there, so the fans definitely not happy with that, but Jay Hudson's going to be on the line.
Neither is Coach Morales either. He is not happy with that call.
Yeah, and Edward Avila took a tumble, a really hard tumble close to the table there. So the first free throw is going to be no good. And that's a part, if the Aztecs are going to be in foul, basically on the line now, they got to start making these free throws if they want to score.
Yeah, definitely passing up some free point opportunities. That's just something that you cannot have happen.
Hudson's second free throw's going to be no good, so he goes 0 for 2 on the line there, and Julian Falk Ramirez is going to get the ball for the Troopers. Hudson gets beat by the freshman. He passes it out to Nathan Sauceda. The Troopers doing what they do best and kind of setting up the defense, getting those screens working. Edward Avila is going to get it now. He's going to drive in. Nothing there. Passes it out to Devin Falk Ramirez. Good. So the Troopers hot from the three-pointer right now, 8-16, and that's Devin Falk Ramirez's first points of the night.
And this is what we kind of saw last week. The Troopers, both teams were playing really aggressive, but the Troopers just kind of pulling away just little by little, as that's going to be a travel picked up by number 24, Quintus Floyd.
And he's going to take a seat early on. So both teams really subbing in and out players right now, just trying to find the matchups that really work for both teams.
Yeah, both teams having a good number of bench players. The Troopers, I think, have a little bit more by a couple of guys, but still nonetheless, pretty big bench there.
Yeah, and Hunter Hutchinson's going to get called for a foul, so that's his first of the night. And both teams really in foul trouble, you could say now, with the Aztecs at 3. So Devin Falk Ramirez will inbound it here for the Troopers. He's going to get it to Michael Sepulveda. And I wouldn't be surprised, Justice, if Coach Morales sees Nathan Sauceda out there and throws in Marcus Bennett too, because they can get a little bit of control down low if they have them two in.
And Marcus Bennett is essentially kind of just playing that power forward position. As that is going to be a charge on Devin Falk Ramirez, but that Marcus Bennett kind of playing that power forward position. You know, he can shoot and he can play big man down low. So that's kind of the advantage that you get with having him in.
Yeah, and we're going to have a timeout here. And it's going to be a 30-second timeout for the Aztecs, and we're going to take one with you with 2:15 left to go here in the first period. It's the Troopers 16, the Aztecs 8. And we welcome you back from the quick break here in a physical contest between the Eastwood Troopers and El Dorado Aztecs, as the Aztecs going to be able to get in the inbound pass after a little bit of struggle there, but the Troopers kind of let it go a little too quick there. Hunter Hutchinson doing a good job right now of dribbling. Julian Falk Ramirez gets tripped up a little. A shot there by the Aztecs, no good. Rebound going to go to the Troopers. Edward Avila after a little. Ball's going to roll around for a little bit.
And, you know, in no way, shape, or form am I a basketball ref here, but I am seeing the Aztecs doing a lot of pushing off, which is what Coach Morales has been asking the refs to watch all game.
Yeah, that Eastwood really doesn't play that physical type of basketball. They play more of that smart methodical, as that's going to be another Trooper turnover. So something that they really need to clean up here early on.
Yeah, and it's not affecting them too much on the scoreboard, but you don't want that to become a habit later on down in the game.
Yeah, and here we go. Marcus Bennett and Nathan Salcedo, what I've been really asking for, as I really think they could dominate down low here. So the Aztecs moving the ball, just trying to find something. Troopers kind of working a 3-2 defense right now, more of a 1-2-2. And the Aztecs just going to pass it around, just trying to find something, but the Troopers doing a good job of staying in their zones and not getting too greedy with these passes.
Quick swing, there you go. There you go.
And shots up there by the Aztecs, no good once again. Ball's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to be Troopers' ball. So the Aztecs missing some threes here that could be really crucial points here that they need.
Yeah, and honestly, that's definitely becoming a big factor. You know, if you look at how many possessions both teams have had, you would assume that probably the Aztecs are leading here, but they are just missing a lot of shots.
Yeah, and with how the game's going, you know, the Aztecs have really kind of controlled, but not on the scoreboard. As Devin Falk Ramirez drives in, shot no good. It's going to be a blocking foul there on number 1, Daniel Well, for the Aztecs.
The Aztecs trying to draw a lot of fouls on the defensive part of things, but nonetheless, they are playing pretty decent defense. Both teams really are.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job of playing defense down low and up top. Right there, we saw their kind of up-court trap really working, as Devin's going to make his first free throw, and the Troopers extend it to 17.
Yeah, and I will say they're not giving them very much room to shoot the ball, but the Troopers still finding a way to get points up on the board.
Yeah, and that's kind of what the Troopers do best, you know, on defensive. They just try to get stops and kind of work points here and there. As Jaden Huerta is going to sub in for Devin Falk Ramirez and give him a little break with 43.5 left here in the first. So the Troopers lead by 10 here, under a minute, and the Aztecs going to break the Trooper press like if nothing, go all the way down the court, and it's good. Adrian Rodriguez just rolls it in, and that looked way too easy.
Yeah, he kind of just slashed in and out of the defense, and you know, when you have a guy that can do that, I mean, that could be a problem later on.
Yeah, Troopers definitely need to work to not let that happen again, as there's a turnover by the Troopers. So really sloppy here early on, as Julian Falk Ramirez kind of pickpockets there. He's going to drive in, no foul called on the shot. He gets his own board, passes it out. Now Nathan Salceda has it with 4. He takes a 3. Nothing but net for Salceda.
Oh, 2 big man jumpers. And the Troopers playing really great offensively.
And that was Hunter Hutchinson right there on that really full court shot there. And that's all we got here for the first period. So we're going to take a break here with the El Dorado Aztecs trailing the Eastwood Troopers 21-10.
And we're back here. The Troopers going to have the ball to open up the second quarter. The Troopers did a great job offensively in the first quarter, finding ways to get on the board, as that's Marcus Bennett driving down low, and he kind of just muscles his way through there. A nice move.
Yeah, and Marcus Bennett right there just kind of out-physicaled them, something the Aztecs did really well in the first.
Yeah, and it's been a physical game, but the Troopers just seem to be playing much more physical. As that's going to be another steal for the Troopers, and just great suffocating defense.
Yeah, and you know, when Israel Flores is back in, that's kind of when you want to push, just try to score as many points as you can. You know, he got in early foul trouble, but being back is going to be crucial for the Troopers here in the second. So he's going to work it to Nathan Sauceda. Marcus Bennett had a lane for a quick second, but it's going to be another turnover for the Troopers.
Yeah, that's just a pass you don't want to make, because that's a three-point shot and missed. A lot of missed shots we're seeing here from the Aztecs.
Yeah, and that was Adrian Rodriguez right there on the shot, and the Aztecs need to start converting these. Not saying they need to stop shooting, just got to get the ball in the net somehow.
Yeah, that's something I think the Aztecs coach is probably preaching. You know, don't stop shooting, because eventually you have to find your rhythm, but you also have to take some smart shots as well. As Nathan Sauceda drives in.
And we're going to have a jump ball there, and it's going to be Aztec ball.
We're going to have substitutions from both teams coming in for the Troopers. Number 22, Josh Bayon, and number 5, Devin Falk Ramirez.
Yeah, and Josh Bayon, a kind of hidden shooter that the Troopers have for them, also can really lay it down defensively, as there he goes as soon as we say it.
Yeah, and he really did. Towards the end of the game last week on Friday, he really showed up when the Troopers needed it.
Yeah, and the Aztecs doing a great job of moving the ball and getting the Troopers out of position, as there's another three, no good. That's Ramirez right there, and it's going to be really a 3-on-1, and we're going to have a blocking foul on the Aztecs.
Honestly, I can't say that I agree with their decision to foul Jaden Huerta there. You know, you have a 3-on-1. The chances of him making a shot just due to it being a 3-on-1 are very unlikely.
Yeah, they had the 3-on-1 and the height advantage there, so I'm really surprised as Bayon puts a good pass to Bennett, but Bennett just didn't have it. And another turnover, so the turnover total gets to 10 now for the Troopers early on.
Yeah, the Troopers and the Aztecs struggled in the first quarter with a lot of fouls, and now we're seeing here a lot of turnovers from the transition to the first quarter to the second.
So Hudson really trying to get something working here for the Aztecs. He's kind of been their guy at point guard right now, just trying to get something working, but the Troopers suffocating right now with that top trap as they're going to force a travel.
I was about to point out that Coach Morales is really getting heated on the bench over here. Seeing a lot of pushing off as right there again.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about the pushing off and kind of the Troopers not getting all those calls tonight, but with the score is not really reflecting kind of the effort really, as I've kind of felt like the Aztecs have out-effort the Troopers, just not on the scoreboard.
Yeah, the Aztecs definitely really putting in a valid effort, but the Troopers honestly, in my opinion, just taking smarter shots and being smarter defensively.
Yeah, something the Troopers are really good at is waiting for that open lane and open drive or whatever. As Bayon's going to get it from Falk Ramirez, nothing but net. And that's actually, that's going to be Jaden Huerta, on the 3 there.
And
as Huerta gets the turnover there, but Devin Falk Ramirez is going to slide out of bounds and another turnover.
And that's a great 10 seconds, a great 10-second span there by Jaden Huerta. He's able to convert offensively and then get a turnover defensively, as he's going to be taken out of the game.
Yeah, Mark Hernandez is going to come in there. And a really weird look right here for the Troopers. Marcus Bennett, Mark Hernandez, Josh Bayon, Devin Falk Ramirez, and Israel Flores, something we haven't really seen. As Josh Bayon's going to get beat on that inside lane. Shot goes up, no good. That's Hutchinson on that missed shot. Israel Flores going to take it across the court here for the Troopers. Flores drives in, kicks it out to Hernandez, has a shot for a second, drives in to Falk Ramirez. And great ball movement right now by the Troopers 5. As Devin Falk Ramirez puts up a 3 off the back iron, no good. A lot of contact down low. Mark Hernandez doesn't get it, and the Aztecs got to work quick here.
Joshua Payan really playing great defense here early on.
And that's going to be a 10-second call. And I said it real fast when they get the ball. They had to work quick there because Mark Hernandez did a good job of keeping his feet in a good position there down low when he didn't get that rebound.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, no discredit to the Aztecs head coach, but I wonder, as Marcus Bennett going to make a great move there down low, and he's going to pick up 2 more points. But I will say, the Aztecs coach barely in his 2nd year coaching, and Coach Morales has had a long resume of coaching.
Yeah, and we're going to have a full timeout, so we're going to take one with you with 4:02 left to go here in the second. It's the Aztecs 10 and the Troopers 28. And we welcome you back to Eastwood High School after the Aztec timeout. And the Troopers right there almost get the 5-second call as they did pretty good down low, but the Aztecs able to get it across court pretty quick. And Justice, we talked about it here, the score does not reflect how this game's going right now.
Yeah, the Troopers on the scoreboard seem to be pulling away really, really far. But, you know, this game does honestly feel like it's neck and neck.
Yeah, as the Aztecs are going to get one there. Troopers still lead here with 3:30 left in the half. And you know how the Troopers get kind of late in the quarter. They kind of really focus on getting that open lane, open shot. As Flores is going to take one after the fake. No good. Josh Bayon with the effort. Israel Flores is going to get it back for himself and pitch it back to Payan. So the Troopers do a good job there of missing the shot and get the turnover quick.
Yeah, Israel Flores, just great effort there and great awareness. He's going to take another shot, and oh, it's a pass actually.
Yeah, I was really trying to work an alley-oop there with Marcus Bennett. I've seen it kind of developing here through the weeks, and now it's probably the closest they've got it, but still no go. And a great effort there by Jay Hudson, and Jay Hudson's going to cause a turnover. So Jay Hudson kind of saying, you could get a turnover, I could do that too right now for the Aztecs.
And Israel Flores seeming to be a little frustrated there with this turnover, but he has played really phenomenal in this game so far.
Yeah, it's always frustrating when you feel like you're not doing enough for your team, but I mean, right now the Troopers doing a phenomenal job defensively to keep this game at the score it is. As, wow, a throw-up pass there for the Aztecs. Devin Falk Ramirez grabs the board and takes it coast to coast. Wow, a hand slap was heard across the gym, no foul. Nathan Salceda just puts it up, and that's his 5th.
And that's a great second chance opportunity shot there by Nathan Salceda.
And Julian Falk Ramirez right there able to poke out the ball, but the Aztecs going to maintain possession.
Coach Morales not agreeing with the call on the court. Aztecs will retain possession.
Yeah, I feel like Coach Morales kind of felt not heard tonight and kind of the stuff he's been wanting to get called for his team. But I guess that's kind of how every coach feels every night. Aztecs doing a great job once again, just moving the ball as Julian Falk Ramirez takes it one-on-one. And one there for Julian Falk Ramirez. Jay Hutchinson had really nothing to do there, but Julian Falk Ramirez gets the basket and at the line now for one.
And this is the second half team that we saw last week on Friday. The Troopers really starting to pick it up on the offensive side of things, as if they already weren't picked up enough. They're really kind of running away with this one as they lead it 33-12, and we've still got just a little under 2 minutes, a minute 55 to be exact.
Yeah, and the Troopers have really kind of just settled in now. You know, that's kind of what we saw on Friday. You know, that Alamogordo team, you don't see that team too often. You'll maybe see them once every 3 years as a great move down low to get Nathan Sauceda off his feet. I believe that was Christian Velasquez there for the points for the Aztecs. So when the Aztecs kind of see the Troopers score, they kind of pick it up. And there's Velasquez with the steal and going to make Devin draw his, I believe that's his second or third. And that's going to be actually his first foul of the night.
And Ramirez is going to be taken out. You know, there's minute 30 left in the half. You're up by a substantial amount of points. There's no need to kind of leave your starter in there, kind of your key guy, really, to try and pick up some more fouls.
Yeah, and this is a great opportunity for Jaden Huerta to kind of get those looks as Julian Falk Ramirez gets fouled right there. Just a great defensive play, and I feel like for the past 2 games me and you have done, Julian Falk Ramirez, man, defensively, that is where he is primed and ready.
Maybe we should start coming out to more games.
Yep, we might got to come out here for this defensive show. It's Mark Hernandez off 1 foot. Good. And those are his first points of the night, so a quiet night for Hernandez.
But honestly, it really does feel like everybody is involved in the scoring. As another steal by Jaden Huerta. He's driving up, puts it up, and just misses. Rebounded by Nathan Sauceda.
Yeah, and go ahead, Justice.
He's going to pass to Avila. He just misses.
Yeah, and like I said, Huerta is one of those players, man. You're not going to see him too much on the stat sheet, but he's one of those players, he comes off the bench and he gives you a good 4 or 5 minutes in each period.
You know, he may not be the tallest and fastest dude, but he's got some grit to him. Is there just shy of another steal? The 3-point shot in the corner missed. Rebounded, put back up, and missed again.
So the Aztecs can't get anything to roll in right now. A little home field advantage for the Troopers. Another missed shot, so 5 down low. And Julian Falk Ramirez is going to get fouled. So a crazy sequence of events. And we're going to have an injury real quick. So the foul's on Christian Vasquez. We're going to have a quick sub for the injury. I believe it was Daniel Well. Yes, sir. Hunter Hutchinson's going to come in there for Daniel Well. And if Well's not able to come back, definitely a loss for the Aztecs. Has been one of those players not lighting it up on the numbers, but really no one on his team is, but just a key player that they've had tonight.
Yeah, and you hate to see a player like that go down.
Huerta's going to have to get it out quick. He does to Hernandez. A great job by Julian and Mark to just get down there to help him, but he's going to get trapped again, fall to his knees, and a travel there. Just a really bad position to put yourself in between the half-court line and really the volleyball back line. That's just a spot you can't be in.
Yeah, definitely a tough spot to be in for Huerta.
And the Aztecs going to try to do something with 3 seconds. It's going to go off the backboard and no good. So a defensive, almost masterclass, you could say, by the Troopers to keep the Aztecs to 14. But we're going to go into half with the Aztecs trailing the Troopers 14-35. We'll be right back with you after halftime. And we welcome you back after halftime here at Eastwood High School for this 1-6A matchup. El Dorado Aztecs trail the Eastwood Troopers 14-35. Justice, that first half didn't look too good for either team really, but the scoreboard really doesn't show that.
Yeah, offensively it really was just all Troopers, but both teams struggled heavily with foul trouble and heavily with turnovers, as Abraham Garcia is going to find Israel Flores under the net, and that's 2 points for him, his first of the night.
Yeah, quiet nights for Israel Flores, Devin Falk Ramirez, and Mark Hernandez. Both these are at 2 or 0, and Mark Hernandez is going to get called on a foul, a push-off there, and wow.
Yeah, he's definitely not happy with that one, not how you want to start off the second half.
So Troopers going to try to keep continuing what they did defensively, and that's going to be a 5-second call. Great inbound defense there for the Troopers.
You know, and you just got to be smart and aware in that sense so you don't create those type of turnovers, but that's honestly all that we've seen all night.
Yeah, it's something the Troopers definitely are going to want to try to do this real half is get more physical. I feel like last kind of timeout before halftime, the Aztecs were just out physicaling the Troopers early on.
Yeah, the Troopers definitely struggled with the Aztecs' physicality, as that's going to be Israel from the corner, missed.
And that's going to stay Trooper ball. Great effort there by Israel Flores, but it's going to stay. Yeah, it will stay Trooper ball. There was a little bit of scuffle there. Israel Flores is going to inbound it. He's going to get it to Marcus Bennett, but Bennett's not going to be able to get a hand on it.
And, you know, just not the cleanest passes from the Troopers all game, not the cleanest passes from the Aztecs all game. Just overall, it's been a little sloppy, if I will say so myself.
Yeah, turnovers has been a huge part for both teams. Both teams has really not held the ball too well tonight. Both coaches probably really harped that at halftime, that they got to keep the ball if they're going to win this game. The Troopers doing that trap once more, and it's going to be tipped out by Devin Falk Ramirez in the corner there. So the Aztecs are going to keep possession now. Aztecs able to get in the inbound this time. Flores is going to work defensively on Hudson, but Hudson's just going to be too quick inside, and he's going to get it in for 2. So Hudson's leading the team with 6 points. They got a pair at 4 and 1 at 2 tonight for the Aztecs. El Dorado coming out with that kind of half-court press on the backside. No good. 2 missed shots for the Troopers. We're going to have a foul down low, I believe. It's going to be on number 10, Jay Hudson. Oh, Marcus Bennett, correction. The foul was on the Troopers. Troopers once again bring out that full-court press. Israel Flores does a great job there to get his hands on the inbound. Jay Hudson and him really working it right now here early on as Mark Hernandez goes airborne. No good. Screen try to set there, but great defense there by the Troopers, and then a turnover. Abraham Garcia, a good and bad sequence of events there, but they're going to get it back. So both teams really sloppy ball work as Devin Falk Ramirez drives in. A lot of contact and good.
Honestly, and, you know, I know the scoreboard reflects that the Troopers are honestly really just running away with this one, but I have really just never seen so many turnovers in a game, honestly.
Yeah, and we're going to have a timeout here by El Dorado, and we're going to take one with you as 5:27 left to go here in the third. It's the Aztecs 16 and the Troopers 39. And we're back with you here after the Aztec timeout with 5:27 here in the third period. As you said before we went on break here, both teams have turned over the ball a plethora amount tonight, and almost there once again for the Aztecs. The shot's going to be no good. Scramble for the ball. Flores is going to get it, but it's going to hit off his teammate's leg. Israel Flores is going to be, I don't know if they called a foul or a jump ball. Yeah, they're going to call a foul there on the Aztecs, and that's going to go on Hunter Hutchinson. So filling in for Daniel Well, who went out earlier. He's going to have to pick up a lot of the slack here for the Aztecs.
Yeah, the Aztecs honestly needing a lot of help to come back in this one. They just really have not had the cleanest night, and that's been the main reason why they're down so big on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and if you're just tuning in, the first half was not all pretty for the Troopers. They struggled early on with the physicality, and kind of right now what you see, the trap for the Aztecs, they kind of haven't broke it as Julian gets a nice pass down low to Marcus Bennett, but the ball's going to go off an Aztec hand, so the Troopers are going to maintain here, so almost averting another turnover there.
Yeah, you know, it's really just has not been the cleanest passing from both teams, and it's crazy to think that the Troopers, with 39 points put up on the board here in the third quarter, you would think that they're having their best night, but this is definitely one of the struggles that we've seen from the Troopers, as it's going to be a foul on Mark Hernandez, and he is getting in some foul trouble. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that is his fourth foul of tonight, and they're going to go ahead and take him out.
Yeah, that is Mark's fourth. You know, just one of those nights. You know, Devin had that on Friday, and I believe it's going to be Mark's turn to kind of have that night. We talked a little bit on Friday how, you know, the great teams, they got to have great teams. You know, you can't just have one guy that really controls your team's pace and your team's momentum.
Yeah, the Troopers rarely struggle with that. They have a lot of contributors from all aspects.
Yeah, as the Aztecs are going to be able to just kind of go coast to coast there. That's the second time they've been able to do that. Floyd's going to get the points there. And that's another thing the Troopers need to clean up, as another turnover by the Troopers. Devin Falk Ramirez is going to get credited for that one. Him and Marcus Bennett were just not on the same page there.
And Coach Morales and Coach Celaya just visibly upset over that. You know, as much as it means to a coach to win, it also means a lot for a coach to win and to be near perfect. But that is something that both teams have not been tonight.
Yeah, and that's going to be a foul on Michael Sepulveda for the Troopers. It's going to be on the floor, so no shots. And that's going to be his first. But I like what you said there, you know, to a coach, a win's a win. But to play a clean game, that's a whole nother story, you know. You could win a game by 2 points and have a clean game, and it's a different story as a head coach.
Yeah, definitely. And I can only imagine the frustration, you know, we're seeing here from Coach Morales. His team is up big here in the third quarter, but Coach Justin Avalos, you know, he's just a 2-year head coach here at El Dorado, but, you know, I'm sure he's visibly upset with his team.
Yeah, so a team that's kind of still in the building process over there at El Dorado. Of course, sitting dead last right now in the district, just really trying to play spoiler here to the Troopers in their home playoff chances. Of course, the Troopers sitting at third right now. Next Tuesday, a huge one for the Troopers against the America's Trailblazers. That one's going to have a lot of playoff implications, and there's a turnover by the Aztecs.
Yeah, and the Troopers honestly really just kind of shooting themselves in the foot, and that's been the story of their game all night.
Yeah, as Devin Falk Ramirez dishes a perfect pass to Marcus Bennett, and he gets it in for 2. So Bennett 14 tonight, leading the game. And the Aztecs just trying to work something here now. And there's a shot there. It's going to be no good. So kind of the story of the tale tonight, the Aztecs just haven't been able to get those shots, as Michael Sepulveda just kind of grab it from the hands. Devin Falk Ramirez is going to dish it down low to Bennett, but the pass is going to kick off an Aztec foot, and the Troopers are going to have possession still. So Edward Avila will inbound it. Julian Falk Ramirez and Nathan Sauceda now in the game as we get a 3 there by Edward Avila, nothing but net. Man, Edward Avila can really shoot the ball the past couple of days for the Troopers. That's his 5th point of the night. As the Troopers really wanted a 10-second call there as the Aztecs took a while to get down the court, but that's going to float. Ramirez is going to get the point as Nathan Sauceda try to draw the charge, but it's going to not go. So the Aztecs get to 20 on the night.
And, you know, they still find themselves down 24 points, and it's going to be a big task to come back as that's going to be Ramirez from the three-point line and just misses.
And just a tad bit off there for Julian. The Aztecs just trying to work those lanes they've been trying all night. Shooting has not been favorable for them tonight when they do get those looks, but they do a good job of moving the ball around.
And I must add, I just noticed, as that's Devin Falk Ramirez with the steal, he's going down the court, puts it up, and he's fouled. But I was just going to point out that Coach Irene Falk, who actually has a game to coach in about 45 minutes to an hour or so, is closely keeping an eye on her kids, Julian Falk Ramirez and Devin Falk Ramirez.
Yeah, Coach Falk kind of just always sits. I don't know if you could see it on the live, but she kind of sits in one of these bottom stairwells and watches her boys. Something really great to see. As Devin misses the first one, and Joshua Bayon's going to check in.
And, you know, Eastwood just kind of filled with all those kind of sport-oriented families.
As Devin goes 1 for 2 and gets subbed out real quick for the Troopers. Christian Alvarez going to check in for him. So the Troopers lead 45-20 here late in the third. Troopers now kind of settled in. First half did look a little sloppy, but they had full control on the scoreboard, and now they're just kind of on the accelerator now as Julian Falk Ramirez gets the trap going, and there's going to be a foul. It's going to go on Julian Falk Ramirez there. Just a great effort there by him.
And he doesn't seem too happy to have that foul called on him.
Yeah, I think he was kind of in that position where there was really nothing he could do, but that's going to be the 5th foul on the Troopers, and someone's going to be at the line there.
Yeah, and that's the second time that the Troopers have allowed the Aztecs to get in the double bonus, and that's just not, again, one of those things that you do not want to see from a coaching standpoint.
Yeah, and the first free throw is going to be no good. And the second shot in and out, and Nathan Sauceda is going to grab the board. So the Troopers going to get away with no damage there on that interaction, as they are kind of just, like I said, accelerating here. Is Edward Avila, another one from the corner. And man, Edward Avila, when he gets in those corners, it is always good, you see.
Yeah, Edward Avila, a big-time shooter for the Troopers, as Julian Falk Ramirez is going to lay this one in off the steal. And that's an easy 2 points, and rightfully so. The Aztecs are going to go ahead and call a timeout. And we are going to take a break. And we're back here. 1:03 left in the third period as the Aztecs will have the ball. And that's going to be number 15, Hunter Hutchinson, driving down the court for the Aztecs. Jay Hudson, who we've seen a lot of, is going to make a pass to Quintez Floyd, and it's going to go out of bounds. And it's going to be yet another turnover for the Aztecs.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this game we have close to 70 turnovers, as both teams have really just been throwing it away.
Yeah, and that's honestly what it's felt like. It feels like every possession at this point really just is a turnover. You wouldn't think that there would be a combined 70 points, as I thought maybe that would be the 73rd, but you wouldn't think that there would be a combined 70 points with as many turnovers as we've seen in this game.
Yeah, and it's kind of felt more not like the turnovers are costing the teams points. It's kind of Eastwood turns it over, El Dorado turns it over, and they go back and forth 3-4 times, and then someone puts up a shot.
And that's going to be a foul on number 32, Christian Alvarez. Christian Alvarez, just a sophomore, standing in at 5'10", but he has been a defensive contributor here later on down the season. We didn't see much of him as the season opened, but he has worked his way in to be a big-time rotational guy for them.
Yeah, definitely one of those guys that Coach Morales can trust coming off the bench, and that's going to be huge for them later on when, Devin Falk Ramirez may not be having a night, Mark might not be having a night, and Israel Flores could be having a night. He's one of those guys you could just sub in, and, man, he's going to give a little spark to your team. As the second free throw is going to be no good, so 1 for 2 at the line. And Edward Avila is going to grab the board.
And that's just been the killer for them all night.
Yeah, the Troopers did get in early foul trouble. 5 fouls now kind of get you on the bonus. And the Troopers got that very early on. I believe it was within 3 minutes of the game starting, but they did just not convert as Josh Bayon puts it up, no good. And that's going to be the end of the third. So the Troopers lead the Aztecs going into one more, 21-50. And we welcome you back to the fourth and final period here from Eastwood High School in this 1-6A boys matchup. We will have the girls matchup coming up after this. It will not be us. It will be Sebastian Perez Novato and Alex. Alex making his debut tonight, so good luck to him.
Yeah, Alex Sanchez making his not only season debut, but his commentating debut, as he will be taking over next year once me and PJ are graduated and out of here. So you'll be hearing his voice a lot more, as the Aztecs were just on the brink of yet another turnover right there.
And the Troopers just trying to finish it out clean, not too clean early on, fixed it after halftime, and been pretty solid coming out as no good, and then good for the Aztecs. Jay Hudson, honestly, kind of just been really the only offense the Aztecs have had tonight. I mean, he has been all over the place defensively and offensively, and he's just kind of been their guy. Yeah, and the Troopers are doing a good job right now of keeping it away from them. You know, there's no shot clock in in Texas high school basketball, so kind of playing keep away might be the thing here. As both teams struggled with the turnovers, the clock was stopping a lot as Devin Falk Ramirez sees a lane and takes it for the 2.
And Devin Falk Ramirez definitely a different type of Devin Falk Ramirez that we've seen aside from Friday night. Friday night we saw his struggles, as that one's going to be in and out of the basket. But tonight, Devin Falk Ramirez has really just kind of been on fire for the Troopers.
And, you know, he didn't put up 20 points tonight, but he played in that crucial role as, man, Edward Avila's shot goes everywhere but in the basket. Marcus Bennett's going to get the board from going back to Devin. Man, he didn't put up 20 points tonight, but he played such a key role defensively and getting those crucial points when the team needed him.
Avila from the three-point line again, and he hits it once again. 11 points for him.
His 4th three-pointer of the night.
He had 3 in last week's contest, and he picks it up with 4 tonight. That's going to be a foul.
Yeah, Marcus Bennett's going to get charged there for a block.
And it seems right now they're about to sub in Mark Hernandez. Mark Hernandez, if I'm not mistaken, has 4 fouls in this game. But there is just a little over 6 minutes, or a little under 6 minutes left in this game.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Morales or not, you're just trying to really get him looks. You're not putting him back in there to really try to do some amazing plays and stuff like that. You just want to get him back in there. Mark Hernandez did miss majority of the beginning of the season with an injury, but now he's back, and you just kind of want to get him more reps.
Yeah, you know, like I said last week on Friday, you're just trying to ease him back into getting those game reps.
Yeah, and they're going to call an over-the-back foul on the Aztecs there, so the Troopers going to get the ball. So with this game, the Troopers are going to, if the score stands how it is right now, the Troopers will go to 6-3 in district play, and the Aztecs will fall to 1-8. So a tough first go-around for the Aztecs, as I believe Devin Falk or Marcus Bennett there gets his 16th on the night.
Yeah, and all the key guys really just padding their stats. Edward Avila, 11 points. Marcus Bennett with 16. And that's going to be a foul on number 23, Jaden Huerta. Kind of looked like a travel from our perspective, but, you know, I'm no basketball coach.
Yeah, and that's going to be Jaden's first of the night, but Aztecs going to be on the line here as the first free throw goes in. So going back to those district standings, you know, El Dorado only capturing 1 win so far in this first turnaround of the district play, 9-team district. So really anything could happen on that second go around. America's sitting at a perfect 8-0. Franklin 6-2, and Montwood and Eastwood were interlocked coming into tonight at 5-3. I believe Montwood got that head-to-head matchup, so they do hold the 3 seed right now over the Troopers. But really, it's anyone's game for those first 4 right now as we flip to the second half of district.
Yeah, and you know, America's sitting up there with a perfect record, and that's why it's such a big game for the Troopers. They're really, honestly, trying to just move their way up. You know, they're not going to get to the number 1 seed overnight, but taking down America's next game on Friday would really do justice for them.
And that America's game will be on Tuesday here at Eastwood. So the first go around, it was at America's on a Saturday, and Eastwood, they've not been generous with them Saturday games for them. So definitely will be helpful to have a home court advantage, and it's on a Tuesday.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. That was a little bit of confusion there.
So under 5 now, the Troopers just padding the stats as Devin Falk Ramirez takes one from closer to the half-court line than the three-point line. Jaden Huerta is going to get the board. It's going to scramble all around, but the Aztecs somehow get it. And it's going to go out, but the Aztecs are going to maintain possession here. Jaden Huerta is going to take a seat for the Troopers, and Israel Flores is going to come on.
Follow it.
The Aztecs trying to work something and get some late points here. Eastwood defense really just playing fundamental as wow. A shot gets put over Mark Hernandez and goes in, so the Aztecs going to get 2 back.
And that's going to cut that lead down to 30 points now.
Yeah, so definitely a tall hill to climb, but the Aztecs not giving in here with about 3:45 left here. So Christian Alvarez and Adrian Ordaz coming off the bench now for the Troopers. More of those bench players we've been talking about through the broadcast just coming in and trying to play a role here late, getting those in-game reps. As Devin Falk Ramirez, a lot of contact down low, no good. Bennett tries to get the board, but the Aztecs are going to take it coast to coast. 3-point shot, no good. Rebound for the Aztecs. The Aztecs just passing it around. It's going to get scrambled, and the Troopers are going to get away with it. Christian Alvarez comes away with it. A weird pass to Adrian Ordaz, and it's going to go to Marcus Bennett. And the Troopers just going to set up their offense once again as Devin Falk Ramirez drives, kicks it out to Israel Flores. Israel Flores to Adrian Ordaz in the corner 3. No good off the side iron. A little scramble down low for the ball, and El Dorado is going to come away with it.
Yeah, that's one guy that everybody cheers for. You know, if I may just put a little bit of, I don't know, I guess info on him. He was the team's manager last year. Senior year, Coach Morales made the decision to put him on the team as a senior, and you know, it's definitely one of those feel-good moments, kind of to see him on the court getting to play.
Yeah, one of those guys that definitely deserves the opportunity. You know, played in a different role last year, and now playing in the player role, has got in a handful of these games now, and district games. You know, sometimes when you're a rotational guy, you don't get in on these district games, as Alvarez's first free throw is going to be no good. But like I was saying, sometimes you don't get in on these district games, but Adrian Ordaz has been able to get in there.
Yeah, definitely somebody who's very deserving of that playing time. Very hard worker, in my opinion.
And that one's going to go in and out, so it's going to stay at a 30-point deficit for the Aztecs with 2:30 left, as a three's put up, no good. Aztecs going to get the board, and right now everyone's just kind of scrambling for the ball, and there's going to be a foul called on the Troopers. I believe it's going to go on Israel Flores.
And time just kind of ticking down now. We're under 2.5 minutes now, and you see that both the Aztecs girls basketball team, the Eastwood girls basketball team, kind of just waiting here for the end of the game, as that game is coming next after this one. Same channel, of course, but it'll be Sebastian Perez Navarro and Alex Sanchez once again. Alex Sanchez making his commentating debut.
As the Aztecs put up another three, no good. Israel Flores on the rebound. And with 2 minutes left here, the Troopers just trying to get out of here, as Alvarez takes a long two, no good. And Marcus Bennett will take a seat probably for the night there for the Troopers. A phenomenal night once again for Bennett. Kind of in the last two games, just seen him explode.
Yeah, an outstanding performance by him.
Troopers just playing keep away right now, trying to tick down that clock. As Devin Falk Ramirez just drains a three like if nothing. That's not an easy thing to do, and he's going to be at 13 for the night. So 1:30 left here. Both teams just trying to finish it out as we're going to have a little scramble and a kickball for the Aztecs, and an Aztec player is going to be down. So we're going to take a little break here as they attend to the injured player. And we're back here with 1:20 left to go here in this 1-6A boys contest. So we touched on it a little earlier. The Troopers gonna kind of stay in that hunt for the district championship with this win tonight, and the Aztecs just kind of shuffled at the bottom right now, just trying to find something to really grab on this uphill climb they're about to go on as the district chapter turns. And the Troopers just moving the ball around here with almost under a minute now.
Yeah, the Troopers really just trying to play keep away as this one really is over. It's been over for a little while now. But the Troopers and Coach Morales definitely, I wouldn't say they're ecstatic about this win, but definitely can't complain too much.
Yeah, definitely some things that the Troopers need to clean up here as the season goes along. You know, those turnovers tonight could have killed them, but they were just the better team out there, as we're going to have a jump ball and it's going to be Aztec ball. But going back, you know, those turnovers could have killed the Troopers if the Aztecs were able to put up more points. So we're under 30 now, and don't leave us now, as in about 20 to 30 minutes we'll have the girls contest coming up. Once again, Alex Sanchez and Sebastian Perez Navarro, as Joshua Payon's going to get the rebound, and that should be about it as we have 15 seconds here. The Aztecs still playing hard here, but the Troopers going to get it across court, and that's pretty much it.
And that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you for tuning into the stream. Remember, there's the girls' game right after this. Thank you for watching, and good night.